What it do, everybody? It's your boy King Crowder back again for another edition of Live. Hey man, so good to check in with you, man. Had to get a Wednesday night edition. Number one, America has spoken. America has spoken. If you're new to the channel, comment, like, and subscribe. I hope you enjoy our service. Today's edition is about politics, man. What we haven't talked about this week, y'all, is America has spoken. There's multiple sides of America that you must learn about. You have your coastal cities, you have your southern location, you have your northern locations. We look at America, right, as one big region. When we need to look at America as multiple countries. America is so diverse, thought process is so different. People from all across this land must come together and vote in the direction we see ourselves coming about in. Remember, rights on local, state, and federal level. Last night, we voted for our federal leader of the free nation. If you did not know, President-elect Trump has won again. He won by standing on what he believes is his policies, and America has believed to support him. He not only won the Electoral College, but he also won the popular vote by a huge milestone. Tonight's lesson, what I want people to remember is that even though we disagree with each other, you still got to listen. People in this country that you disagree with, you need to be able to hear them out. Right now in this country, we have so many polar opposites conversation, right? You have what this policy, what this legislation, I believe what I want to believe. What we don't have right now is that we do not have a diversity thought. Many people have their groups they listen to, but whenever it's time to go outside of yourself to hear a different point of view or a different conversation, you don't want to hear it. If you are around people that you hear the same talking points, speaking points, thought processes, ideas, sayings, whatever you call a party or a branch, you need to get out there. You have an echo chamber. What is an echo chamber, King Crowder? An echo chamber is when you have people reciting the same information as you. An echo chamber is when you have people saying in agreement, lockstep, in what you think, what you believe in, what I think matters to me, my legacy, my group of individuals. What you do not have is an extreme thought process on it. What you do not have is having people talking about these different issues. And if you don't have a different thought process, if you don't have anybody talking about different issues, you are going to suffer from stagnation. I love to tell everybody this. Just because you went to college does not mean you're educated. Just because you went and got a degree, just because you graduated from something, does not mean you are educated. It means that you know how to took this process and got to this point of view. Right now, we have so many educated people that have not constantly studied, updated their information, and learned how much the world has changed. The reason why I said it's such a big deal, if you look at the physical media that we have, the television, and the actual people media, which is the internet, it's night and day. On the TV right now, catering to the older generation, you will see that the race and what the presidential cycle was going for is completely different. The old media that once had an impact on us as Americans is ineffective. Anybody 40 and under does not look at the major news outlets anymore. They don't listen to them. They don't have any sway. They don't have any power. They have zero influence. And many young Americans, especially Black Americans, have their own site and people they listen to. They know and they feel that they are being lied to. They know and feel that everything that they hear from this news media outlet does not work. So what they're beginning to understand and what they're beginning to hear is that, hey, even though I'm hearing what these people are saying, even though the people are most likely breaking down what their point of view, what their ideology is, what we got to understand right now, y'all, is that if we want a different set of point of view, if we want a different set of circumstances, if I want a different set of thought processes, I got to seek it on my own. Because the national media does not have the pull of gravitas at one's head. Why is it so important, Green Connor? Why are you leading with this? Because if you listen online and you listen to people that have a Democratic leaning point of view, Anything brought to you that was different is wrong. Guess what? What we saw right now is that we saw people have a different level of intellectual capacity. What they feel and what they think matters too. What you feel and what you think does not have the sway or gravitas as it used to. The people that live the average day Americans are different. Our elites do not have as much influence as they once had. The star power, the name, the thought processes that were effective maybe 30, 40 years ago are ineffective now. People care about themselves. They care about their daily needs, their daily wants, what they choose to invest in. That is what will resonate. And what we saw in this election, star power, doesn't work. Your policy power, what you are leaning on, what we are getting, what you're going to do for me, ultimately, you want to win. What we saw is that, my opinion, VP Harris had a feelings-based campaign. She was about the vibes. She was about, what it was going to be about. She was about what the information is going to lead to. Hey, I have a topic that I'm going to speak to. However, I'm not going to speak about how and what the American people care about. I don't care about that. What I care about is what I'm trying to get past, what I'm trying to push, and what I choose to speak on, which is mostly a woman-led issue, which are important. But you must understand that many men felt ostracized. Many men felt unheard of. Many men felt like it wasn't beneficial to me. So if I want to learn, if I want to grow, if I want to get different sets of information, I must seek it differently. Miss Harris' campaign missed the mark. What you got to understand is, number one, when you're talking to people of a younger generation, don't insult them. She blatantly called them stupid. She blatantly called Gen Z, Alpha, Millennial people stupid. She blatantly said they don't know anything. Can you imagine insulting someone and then expecting them to do something for you? Can you imagine you telling a group of people that you don't know how to think for yourselves, that you don't know how to listen for yourself, that you don't know how to grow, you don't know how to think, you don't know how to critically move in a certain way? Everything that you are doing and currently working with is wrong. That's what they did last night. They said celebrities, influencers, what we say in certain issues is all we're going to talk about. Not the economy, not immigration, not what we're struggling with, not what Black Americans truly care about. And let's dive into that subject right quick. Black Americans have a great divide. If you are 45 plus and you're a Black American, you have a great divide in this country. You don't speak for everyone anymore. Most Black Americans do not go to church. So if you're going to church to pander to votes, you're out of touch. Most Black Americans do not call themselves African American anymore. If you're referring to young Black Americans as African Americans, you're out of touch. Most Black Americans do not believe the Democratic Party has their best interests. So if you believe that you have the gravitas, the pull to make things happen, you're out of touch. Most Black Americans under the age of 35 do not support Barack Obama. If you believe he is the Negro whisperer, you are out of touch. All of these pieces of information are new to a lot of people. They don't understand what the playbook was and what it is now has changed. They don't understand that what Black Americans once valued and what they currently value has changed. They don't understand that that generation that is currently getting older and it is different is not the same. Every playbook, every direction that we once did that was effective is ineffective right now if you're 35 and under. Their ideology, their mindset, their thinking process, their thought process are different. Everything that you once that was influential, the Black media that was once influential, it's not. If it's not the new Black media, if it's not our new thought leaders and thought provokers, they're not listening. The Black grassroots in America has more sway than anybody you can name. I'm telling you right now, they have more sway, more gravitas, more pull, more influence. More things are going to happen through the Black grassroots that you need to speak to. What is the Black grassroots? The black grassroots are literally championing the message and what the focus is going to be. Right now, if you talk to the average black person, I'm going to tell you the top 2 things they're going to bring to you immediately. And this is from the streets. Number 1, they're going to mention reparations. If you don't have reparations that are lineage-based going to black Americans, you already lost. Number 2, they are going to mention a black anti-crime hate bill. If you don't know this going forward and you're not given tangible pieces of information, you already lost. Knowing how to speak to your constituents, knowing how to transfer information, how to break down these topics, how to have discussions, it is up to you being a political leader to do that. Right now, we are seeing the ramifications for them not being able to take that information, transfer, and break it down. Why is that important? Why are you even mentioning that? I'm mentioning that because some of our leaders and our support providers are giving it to us. What we saw right now will continue to happen. There's no one-off. There's no anomaly. There's no outside perspective. No. Democrats, this will be a new normal. Your approach, your influencers, the people you once chose, don't work anymore. They don't. Let this warning sign be a thought sticking sign. Right now, moving forward, you can blame black men. You could say they didn't show up. You could say they didn't believe, they didn't support, they didn't believe in these things. They can say multiple things about black men that we may need to hear, we may not need to hear. But one thing you cannot say is that the tide is changing. Black men under 40 are not blindly loyal to the Democratic Party. They are loyal to what tangible piece of information is going to come to you. What tangible piece of information is going to translate, relay, go into perspective, and also be impactful. Next, now I'm going into what was going to happen, what matters, what policy, what dictates it. Did y'all see what happened to VP Harris and what she did to Howard University students? If you did not know, she had her inauguration party at Howard, which I thought was a phenomenal thing. What she did not know was that while she was having at that university, she had the people out there to support her. Did she leave them out there waiting? Did she have all the organization, which have no power, which have no influence? Black bourgeoisie, educated class got to understand the Greek life, what was formerly influential in the college experience, has no sway in these streets. Zero power, zero influence. Black Americans on the working level do not understand that. We once understood the need for colleges and the experience. And like I said, coming from a working class family, I didn't get it. But now that I'm in the real world around real people all the time, it's dead. What they meant for at one point in time was really unique. But right now, the disconnect is wide. So if you are any of those organizations coming into the black streets, talking about you represent and you have power and influence, you don't. What we saw last night was a circle of that. As much support, as much agreement that she had behind her, they did not have enough. They didn't. Until you get the black streets, until you get black people that are actually in the working field day to day, until you get the on-code behavior, you're not going to win. What our leaders before us understood was that you need the streets. Our educated class now think they don't. I run into that argument all the time, man. They ask me all the time. When I say we need the streets, we need our warrior class, we need them to be somewhat immersed and we must be bonded with each other like how we have been historically. That is our biggest disconnect right now. Our thought leaders, our boule, our educated class think they do not have to connect with the warrior class. I see it all the time. As someone that is from the warrior class that has moved up a little bit into the educated class, I understand the connection need for both of them. But in that class that's upper, quote unquote, they don't think they need to connect, especially as men. That is our number one problem. A generation ago, Malcolm X, Bumpy Johnson, they understood this. Now, we think we don't need each other. And it's the arrogance by us, the educated class, to think that way. The hood booger brother do not think that way. They know that we need each other. But it's our job to understand that assimilation goes both ways. It is our job to helpful, to provide, to do things both ways. What we have failed to do as the educated class is have that bridge. We don't. We have some people in our community that understand it, but the mass amount of educated, college educated class, it's not. There is a wedge right there that we put in place. There's a lack of trust, understanding, agreement that we put in place. There's a lack of commitment that we have put in place. And right now, we are seeing the seeds of that labor. We are seeing the fruits and things come from when we are not together on code as oneness. And the one biggest way we saw that last night was the behavior of VP Harris. I love when I hear one of our elders speak about something, because once they told me that she had some of her fans outside for almost 7 hours, she didn't address the crowd. She didn't say thank you. She didn't say, I appreciate you coming out. She didn't say thank you for the sacrifice. She didn't say, I appreciate y'all hard work and behavior. Only thing she did was go back in there and be quiet. That then I knew, she can't be a White House member. You can't be a White House member and get in your feelings. And this White House.
I am so disappointed and really insulted. I'm a Howard alum, and that she didn't have the decency to walk out and say something to her, to her university, make a comment to the United States. Things were not looking well for her. It wasn't completely over, but short of a miracle, we knew which way this was going. And that she didn't have some grace. I mean, it shows us how,
as we have just learned, after hiding.
What she was speaking about, y'all, was that even though the election population minority was looking like it was going left, you still have an obligation to speak to your people. And as somebody that's immersed in Black American culture, you got to understand this. Your parents can make you go do the right thing. There is no way you can go to one of your friends' house and not tell them you're not going, just not showing up. Your daddy, your mama is going to make you go outside and say, no, do the right thing. No, you got to say that I'm sorry and I ain't coming. You cannot just sit back there and not say nothing. And think about this for a second. You had people going to this event, different states, different locations, flying in, tickets. You don't say nothing to them. We know you took a loss, but you fought. You did your thing. But you sit back and disrespect your people. Are they your people? If there was your people and you cared about them and you loved and admired them, would you treat them that way? If they were East Indian descent, would you have that same energy? Would you think it was acceptable? Would you think it was tolerable? Or would you think I could treat you how I want to treat you? In my opinion, that showed me everything I need to do. How you respond when things don't go your way reveal a lot to me as a man and woman. When it's good, when it's perfect, when it's good times, how you respond in good times is good. But when it's hard, when you're tired, when you don't feel well, when you're sick, like me right now, are you still showing up? Are you putting your hat on, putting your chin strap on, you still going to practice? Or does everything have to be ideal for you to show up? You are never judged in your best moments. You are always judged in your worst moments. And last night was a moment for her. And she dropped the ball. You can never regain that moment. You had people out there and you said, I'm going to reschedule to tomorrow. You didn't say, man, we fought a good battle. You wasn't grateful. You wasn't appreciative. You just held your tongue and went tired. That ain't somebody I want leading me. That ain't I want somebody that's going through a conflict or something to see how they're going to get past it. That ain't somebody that I know that's going to go through a real sticky situation and we're going to stay in the trap with each other. That ain't somebody I want to hear. So even though we got to understand, y'all, America spoke loudly what they felt, what they wrong. I know. I got my own perspective, King Crowder. What they went for, I ain't with. The abortion thing, other things, I get it. Those issues matter. But as a leader of the free nation, somebody that's going to be God and you're going to look up to, men and women, don't your character matter? Don't how you respond in a pressure-filled situation matter? Don't how you respond to your expectation of how you treat your constituents matter? I don't care what nobody say. Black American culture is unique. You cannot be disrespectful to anybody that's expect to be cool with that. You cannot disrespect anybody that came to support you when you not say nothing. That is not how we work. We must gotta have the conversation. We must talk about these things. And we must understand moving forward, what are the expectations? Moving forward, you got to understand what the expectation is. If you are a black man in America, college educated, Greek, whatever you want to call it, the sway, the pull that you thought you had does not exist. Let me say it again. If you are college educated, Greek, whatever your lifestyle is, what you did at one point in time has no reflection on what you're doing currently. It doesn't. So if you want to know where your power comes from, your influence, your resume matters. What you are doing right now supersedes everything. No black Americans right now care about the college experience. They don't. All black people don't go to college. A lot of us don't. So coming to them, telling them about the college experience, what you thought mattered, about your HBCU, I'm letting you know right now, has zero influence in the real world. Moving forward, you need to know that. You need to know you are judged by your actions right now. Don't mention I went to college. Don't mention I did this. Don't mention that these stories meant that. In Black American society, that means diddly poo. Your day-to-day matters. What you are doing right now in your community matters. What you are doing in your respect among other black men matters. What you speak about, what you champion about, what you are currently doing matters. I know you got to work. I know you got to hold everything down, but you still must design to get your own network, your own influence, your own circle. If you are in the city, it is your job to still establish those things. Who have you helped out recently? Who have you put on? Who have you helped? That's how you are judged right now. Not your college, not your university, not your frat, not none of that. And these are the new updated files. You hear this information, you know it. Do not mention that anymore. It means no viota. Number two, you must understand how you position yourself and your name matters so much. If you are a man, your word is law. Let me say it again. If you are a man, your word is law. What you say, how you establish yourself, what you do, what you go after, they have to mean a lot. If I put my name on this dotted line and say I'm going to be there, you got to be there. As a man, you got to understand that supersedes anything in the black community. Right now, moving forward, if you are under the age of 35 and you are a man, your word must become impeccable. What we saw is that Trump's word is who he is. What we saw is that the fugazi flip-flopper that Kamala was doing does not translate. Among men, especially, men desire authenticity. We know what publicity is. We know what pre-episode interviews is. We know all that stuff. That's why it doesn't resonate with us. It doesn't. Authenticity moving forward is going to resonate. I never understood it a lot, especially when my homeboys would tell me, King Crowder, you authentic. You yada, yada, yada. I never knew what that really meant. What that means is that I speak the truth. Not disrespectful, but the truth. And people right now are speaking in America, they want the truth, 100%. Everybody's tired of being lied to. Everybody's tired of political speak. They just are. So, you know they're tired of the political speak. You know it's ineffective. You know it doesn't work. You know it has no sway. Stop repeating the formula. The definition of insanity is to do the same thing over and over again and expect different results. We know now celebrities will not work. Influencers will not work. Policy-driven tangibles are the focus. Step number 3, stop calling Black Americans African Americans. Since the year 2021, there has been a cosmetic shift in delineation. What's delineation? Delineation is to get the reparation claim going on in America. There is a Black American movement. Using myself, for example, my maternal side of the family hails from Monroe, North Carolina. I have been in America prior to the census of 1750. I can trace my lineage back to America when we were slaves, when we were freed, and when they first came off the Mount Polk plantation in Mount Pleasant, Tennessee. I know my lineage. If your lineage is different in this country, you need to educate yourself on it. You need to know your origin story, where you come from. That is why delineation is so powerful. Why is delineation so powerful? Flat blackness term has become an issue. with the mass amount of immigrants coming to this country, i.e. Kamala, their background has become an issue. Black Americans have decided to delineate to say, hey, we are on code with each other. There's a word, there's a unique love. This is how we talk, respond, communicate with each other. That is what your files need to update. If you are a college bourgeoisie, educated person, quote unquote, and you use the terms that are not unified to what's going on now, you are uneducated. That's a fact. Moving forward, you know what we need. You know what we want. You know what the process is. You know how to communicate to us. Moving forward, add these things into your repertoire. Add them. You must update your files. You must read. You must stay current. You must know that the Black Americans on the coastal cities are much different from the heart of America. To attack regular Americans, you must do things outside of what the coastal cities do. If you're from California, you're in a bubble. If you're from New York, you are in a bubble. It is your job to exit those bubbles. I recommend if you live in California, you should live in a different state for at least 3 years. If you live in New York, you should live in a southern state for at least 3 years. What you must understand is that your bubble is unique. It is your situation only. You will not translate and get on with the rest of America. It won't work. You must leave it, operate it, and learn with the rest of America how they work. It's my opinion. Next, the future goals are different. To win with Black America, tangibles are the word. You're not going to get by with vibes. You're not going to get by with talking to. You're not going to get by with acknowledgement. They care about tangibles. Student loan tangibles. Reparation tangibles. The check tangibles. Anti-Black crime bill tangibles. Tangible things are what they want. Stop acting like you don't know. Stop acting like we don't see. And we must blame for all of this, y'all? President Barack Obama. People look at me like I'm crazy when I say that. But Obama under-delivered, but got ordered more. Obama got all the love that he did not earn. So now, anybody moving forward, they're going to look at him. He messed it up for all of y'all. Obama got the love, the admiration, the respect, skipped the line, and did not put the work in. But what he did, while he did that, he tore up that bridge behind him. Because now, anybody coming after him has to show that they're down and they're going to do something. Kamala is the first branch that's going to show that. If you are a person living in this country and you have a desire to go for politics and you are not doing anything to the community you are choosing to represent, you will not be elected. If you do not go to the Black New Media podcast, social media, and talk to them, you will not get the support. You will not be elected. You ain't got to agree with me. I'm just telling you the facts moving forward. Why is all this important? America has spoken. If you look at the voter map from last night, and you look at the voting parties, 3 things became very eye-opening to me. Number one, what we thought we had support and love with each other that would be enough, it ain't. Black Americans, you have more power and influence than you want to admit. White Americans have shown you who they're going to vote and support for. The sister code does not exist. Most white women voted for Trump. They have showed in droves how they feel. The sister code, the feminism, the ideology, we're going to stand up for each other. You are the only one holding that mantle. You are the foolish person because there is no sister code unity among other nationalities, ethnicity of women. They have shown that over and over and over again. All those issues that you spoke about, they have shown you. We don't care. We're going to support those that support us, that look like us, that believe in us. That's who we're supporting. Ethnicity, family, over everything. If you are not voting, moving, operating that way, you're hurting yourself. Other ethnicities and nationalities are showing you what they're going to believe with, what they're going to roll with, what they're going to stick by. So what today has shown us is that American values are what they are. So what have you learned from last night? Are you going to move accordingly? Or are you going to be more on code with each other? Or are you going to operate, work, move, and do different things with each other? Everything you do from now moving on will have an effect on you. Kamala lost the election because she wasn't issue focused. The policies that she had didn't deal with the border crisis, didn't deal with the economy, and most importantly, it failed to mention what she was going to do by not mentioning the other man. America has shown you in one landslide election what they want and what they want to see change. Remember, if you are not giving people money, if you are not giving resources, helping them provide and move forward, you can expect zero coming. I know this issue is important. I know it's even scary to talk about. But until we get comfortable talking about these uncomfortable subjects, how will any of us grow, listen, learn, or improve? All I'm here is to be engaged with what the people are saying. Remember, you ain't got to believe me. You ain't even got to like what I say. But I advise you to listen to what other people's meaning and what they got to say. Remember, you don't want to live in your own echo chamber. If you're around a lot of people that say everything and believe what you say, you're in the wrong group. Your group of people must disagree with you. They must have a different process. They must challenge your thoughts. They must tell you that I disagree with you vehemently. That is the only place that you will grow and you will learn. I am here just to be the gauge for you. If your 5 circle of friends all think like you, move like you, operate like you, you're in the wrong place. Politics, religion, spirituality, you want people that are going to challenge the status quo, even if it makes you uncomfortable. Until next time, I just want to give you this short lesson on why America is so different. Remember, the divide among age, among Black Americans is different. How old we are, what we do, what we gravitate to, they have all shown us how in this election we saw it in real time. Remember, this isn't Kamala v. Trump. This is the new Black media versus the old one. We are seeing a ageism clash between what's worked one time and what works now. You don't have to agree with everything I'm saying. What you must do, you must learn from it. Remember, my job to here is to open your eyes. And if you leave here thinking the way you did, I failed. I want to present you with new information. And most importantly, I want you to read, research, and develop your own theories. Until next time, it's your boy, King Crowder. Back and go for another edition of Live on Wednesday. Hope you have a great night, a great evening. I hope this 30-minute snack wrap was good for you because I want to just land something on your mental right quick. Hopefully this information is extremely helpful. Hopefully everything that we talk about is beneficial. Hopefully everything that is talked about in detail, you get something from it. Like I said, y'all, do not go into anywhere seeking, wanting people that think, look, operate like you. Politics is violence without bloodshed. If you don't know it, you must earn it yourself. Shout out to Fred B. Until next time, it's your boy, King Crowder. I'll see you next time. Peace.